Imagine if instead Moon just had his own body.
What?
You know, you both get your own bodies.
That happened? Oh my gosh, I can finally hug him!
So about that filter.
Yes, I can say fuck. What about it?
I forgot to record an intro for this game, so here we go. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Sleeeeepy. Today we are going to be playing a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. This is called After Hours. This game goes into depth about spending time with Sunny and Mooney, and I'm excited. You're excited? Let's do it.
Hey, wake up. No sleeping on the job.
I jolt awake, a bright light in my eyes and someone's hand on my shoulder. While I block it out with my arm, Vanessa finally turns off her flashlight and lightly scoffs in annoyance. How long was I asleep on this table? Lowering my arm, I have a small toolbox in front of me, and my phone is resting where I had my head laid down. Its shape is probably imprinted on my face right now.
Good lord, when was the last time you slept?
I don't know. Probably a week ago? I don't know. I don't know. Vanessa sighs.
Whatever. No one's here but us anyway. I'll keep quiet if you just do your job, alright?
Yeah.
Alright, get to it.
Vanessa walks off as I stand up and stretch, feeling my joints pop when I raise my arms above my head. Deciding not to waste any more time, I pick up my toolbox before heading through the massive doors leading into the daycare. The daycare's bright lights and rainbow colors are practically blinding compared to the rest of the Pizzaplex. Or maybe I just haven't fully woken up yet. Time to get this over with. I open up a panel behind the desk and I cringe at the mess of wires in the wall. As much as I wish I couldn't rush through this. I'll have to deal with each generator one at a time. Whatever. If it means I get to go to sleep sooner, I'll do it. This is exciting. Click the end of each cable to connect it in the correct order. Okay. Jesus. Okay, so this is one. Three. Okay. Standing back up, I stretch again, palms on my back as I let out a tired sigh. That is, until I hear the faint sound of what I think are gears and other mechanical bits turning, followed by something landing in the ball pit near the back. I'm pretty sure it's just the daycare attendant. After all, they should be the only thing in here, and the small stage leading into their room is directly above the ball pit. Not that I know a lot about them. Staff hasn't said much. And since I'm still here, I haven't even met them yet. Nor have I met the other animatronics like the Glam Rocks or DJ. Most of the robots I've gotten acquainted with are the staff bots all over the building. I start walking to the ball pit, scanning it for any signs of movements as I stand on the edge. That is, until...
Hello. Hey there, friend! Oh, I don't remember seeing you around. Are you new here?
I didn't know that was this type of game. I didn't know we were about to get jump scared like that. Okay. Hold on. I really like his little skirt. I love this. His design is so good. His little bells on his wrist. Oh God, he's so cute. Something or someone jumps up in front of me and I'm suddenly lifted up off the ground. Put me down. Before I can even answer, I notice his eyes turn a light blue color, scanning me. I'm stunned into silence, staring at the robot in front of me as he steps out of the ball pit, holding me from underneath my arms as if I weigh nothing. Yeah? Can you put me down first? You put me down first, please.
Oh, sorry about that.
He finally puts me back down, though he makes sure I'm standing on both feet before letting go. Thanks, and yeah, I'm new here. Just finishing up my first week, actually.
Oh, and how's that been? Good, I hope.
Yeah, it's gone pretty smoothly so far. I start walking back to the desk, but the tall robot decides to follow me.
By the way, could you tell me your name? My name's Sun, but people come up with all sorts of nicknames like Sunny, Sunray, Sundew. Some of the kids even call me Sundrop, like the candy.
I know he scared me, but he's really cute. Give me a puppy energy any day. I love it. Oh. Not gonna lie, I thought your name was Sundrop until now.
Oh, that's fine. A lot of people do that. And the name kind of stuck over time, which is fine by me.
I love him. Cool. My preferred name is Buggy, by the way.
Well, it's great to meet you.
I can't help but smile a bit. But duty calls, so I make my way to one of the other computers on the desk. I can faintly see his face reflected on the screen as he watches what I'm doing.
What you need the light off for?
I have to test all the generators in here to make sure they're all working. Whoever messed with them last time left them a mess, so I have to do it one at a time.
Uh-huh.
Considering how wordy he's been so far, such a short answer tells me something's up. Then again, I just met the guy. I could be overanalyzing. Is something wrong? Oh.
No, just noticed how tired you look. That's all.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Gonna get something for you.
I am in love with him. Oh, what? Why?
Just something to help carry you through the night. Judging by how many wires and generators you have to deal with, I have a feeling you might be here for a while.
He's such a sweetie pie. Fair enough. Sun smiles before walking off somewhere. I put in the commander to turn off the power in the daycare. The music once playing from the speakers on the ceiling comes to a halt. Silence blanketing over the massive daycare with very scary sounds as the computer screens become the only light source. Hey, stop! Removing my flashlight from my belt, I turn it on as I start my way towards the play structures, since that's where the generators are located. For some reason, that's a hazard. Quiet as I try finding the structure with the first generator. The lack of true ambiance forces my steps to echo. The glowing red light of one of the generators enters my sight, so I continue on. Somewhere above me, I hear gears turning. I shine my flashlight towards the ceiling, only to see nothing there. Sun? I flinch at the noise, frantically shining my light to see what's there. That didn't sound like Sun. No. I'm kind of mad that I didn't play this one for Halloween because it's really good. But how dare you? I've dropped my flashlight and I'm sitting on the ground after stumbling back from being startled. In front of me is the robot I've seen on the Moondrop posters, giggling hysterically. He seems proud of himself. I sigh, pick up my flashlight, and get back to continue what I'm doing. Well, if I wasn't awake before, I definitely am now. He finally stops laughing after I say that. He makes a noise that sounds like he's clearing his throat before he starts to follow me.
Sorry for the scare. I couldn't help myself.
Sure. I take the first path into the plate structure I see, hoping to find the first generator sooner rather than later.
You're going the wrong way.
Don't give me the sassy face. I'm going the right way. Am I? I turn around, and he has his arms crossed as he leans against the structure.
Yeah, I could lead you to the generator if that would make you feel better.
I kind of really like his voice. Like, Sunny's voice was Sunny, but like, I kind of like Mooney's voice. Okay. I think about it for a second. If this guy is anything like Sun, hopefully he actually means what he says. Fine. I crawl back out the structure and he starts leading me to a different path. He clearly knows his way around since we find the generator rather easily.
There you go.
Dang. He sits beside me as I go to turn it on, his glowing red eyes watching me as I do my job. Maybe it's just me, but don't you think those red eyes are kinda intimidating for a daycare attendant?
Yes, I've been told that before. It was a bug that made them look like this. But that's been resolved. The red eyes stuck, but they're not hurting anyone.
Fair enough. The red does look kinda cool with the blue and white.
Why, thank you.
Guys, I don't want to say that I might be in love with an animatronic, but I think I might be in love with a very particular animatronic. I roll my eyes, a faint smile on my face. Now that I think about it, I never told you my name, did I?
I already know.
Any idea what that music is?
That's the DJ. Oh, he makes his own music, so it's out of the ordinary to hear it during the night when everyone's gone home. I'd love to be friends with him, but I'm too busy to leave this place most of the time.
Really?
Yep.
When was the last time you've left this place?
Okay, well, technically I've never left. But every hour when the power gets rerouted, Mooney goes on patrol around the Pizzaplex to make sure we don't get any intruders. He says the DJ makes for good company.
I rub my eyes, feeling my lack of sleep catching up to me again. The stress of a new job is really taking a toll on my sleep schedule, I think. Why do they need Moon to patrol the place? Intruders? Why do they need Moon to patrol? Isn't that what the staff bots are for?
The staff bots help alert Moon to anything or anyone that shouldn't be there.
I let out a yawn as I go back to the computer. That's cool. Switching the lights off, the daycare once again descends into mostly silence. I hear the gears whirring behind me as Moon hums slightly.
Still tired.
Oh boy, I gave that away. Yeah.
I thought so.
I hear Moon step away for a minute. Yawning again, I take my flashlight off my belt as I start to approach the play structures, stopping once I'm a few feet away from the desk. I wait for Moon to come back, since I have a feeling I'll get lost if he doesn't help me with finding the other generators. Hearing the sounds of gears whirring above me, I point my flashlight towards the ceiling. He's easier to find this time, probably because he's not trying to startle me again. He lowers himself on the floor, a long cable hooked onto his back from the ceiling. So that's how he flies around this place? There you are.
Here, take this.
He holds out an already open can for me to take. A grape-flavored fizzy fizz, to be specific. Thanks.
No problem. Sonny meant to get it for you earlier. But I had something different in mine.
What does that mean? I don't think I should like Moon as much as I do, but like, I think I have a little crush. He has a smug grin on his face. Yeah, you decided to scare me half to death. I roll my eyes as I take a sip of the carbonated heart attack in a can.
Come on, live a little.
Checking the watch on my other hand, I see that it's nearing 1 in the morning. For the hour I've spent awake, I've gotten surprisingly little done. Great. You want to help with the other generators or what? Moon's expression didn't change. He just stares at me for a moment before speaking.
You look exhausted.
I am exhausted.
Shouldn't you take a break then?
And if I don't? I take another sip of soda, raising an eyebrow. And do what?
Well, I have my hourly patrol to take care of. You could always tag along.
Are you asking me on a date? You know what? Yeah, sure. I can. I have to keep working. I want to go. Take me. You know what? Yeah, let's go. Just as long as Vanessa doesn't see me, I guess. Moon's smile grew ever so slightly at my statement, but it seemed like more of a genuine smile than his gremlin look earlier.
I doubt that'll happen. The Pizzaplex is a big place, so the chances of her running into us are rather small.
I know, but still.
Trust me, it won't happen.
Okay.
Besides, you need to take it easy for a while. You look like you're ready to pass out.
I'd love to if I didn't have a job to do. The cable still attached to his back. Moon hovers ever so slightly above the ground before approaching me.
Not right now, you don't.
Without another word, Moon wraps his arms around my torso before the cable lifts him up at least 40 feet above the ground. Holy! Panicked, I cling to him as I stare at the ground far beneath us. Moon doesn't seem to react, simply navigating through the air, carrying me with him.
Don't worry, I won't drop you.
I don't know, Moon. You better not. Moon clearly knows this place like the back of his hand, because it only takes around a few minutes for us to reach the atrium. And with the giant holograms of the glam rock still active, despite the Pizzaplex being closed for the night. We pass over a few security bots who pay us no mind. Occasionally one will look at us, and then continue with the same blank expression as every other robot. Eventually, I get used to being high off the ground. Moon says nothing as he scans the area for intruders, thankfully seeing nothing out of the ordinary. Moon lands on the railing on the 3rd floor of the atrium, likely about to change directions and head somewhere else. That is, until an alarm starts blaring from one of his speakers and he suddenly turns to look in a different direction. Hopping off the railing, Moon sets me down before hovering off the ground again.
Stay here. One of the staff bots alerted me to an intruder.
Before I can get another word in, Moon leaves, pushing off the railing to give himself a boost as he flies off. Sighing, I look when I see another staff bot looking at me, seemingly confused. Just guessing by the way it stops and tilts its head when it sees me. It's hard to tell what these guys are thinking when they basically can't emote. You're gonna tell me if Vanessa's nearby, right? You saw nothing. I point at the bot. You saw nothing. The bot says nothing. It does not respond. Probably because it has no mouth. I nod in understanding before going to sit in one of the booths at the L Chips. Staring at the menu on the other side of the small restaurant, I remember something important. I haven't eaten anything since, this morning? Maybe that's why I feel so out of it. If only I could inhale the pictures of food on the wall. I try the next best thing and search behind the counter for basically anything that's edible. I find an unopened bag of nachos. Good enough. I head back to the booth, opening the bag of chips and eating my makeshift lunch. Peering back into the atrium, the bot isn't there anymore. From where I'm sitting, it looks like the number of staff bots around me seems sparse in general. Maybe they're gone somewhere. Maybe they're gone wherever Moon is. Not that I know where he went, anyway. I don't think much of it, simply continuing to fuel up on chips while listening to the droning ambiance of many bright lights in the atrium. I can feel my ears ringing from the silence. That and the sound of me eating the chips alone becomes deafeningly loud. Maybe I somehow got used to the daycare's nonstop music loop already. It feels strangely empty here without it. The lack of ambiance is almost unbearable. Standing up, I go to throw away the now empty chip bag, one hand on my head as my vision goes blurry for a moment, as if I stood up too fast. Walking back to the railing, I lean against it, looking down, squeezing my eyes shut as I try to quell the nauseating feeling. When I open them again, my vision is still fading in and out. And is it just me, or does my vision seem weirdly red? Stumbling back, I look around for one of the staff bots for help, disoriented by whatever is happening to me. But instead of a staff bot, what I vaguely see approaching me from the right is a gray, humanoid silhouette and two bright red eyes fixated on me. Intruder. Startled, I make a run for the stairs, hoping to find the staff bot somewhere nearby. My vision hasn't fixed itself. In fact, it's gotten worse, as I misstep and stumble down the first short flight of stairs. I force myself back up, using the railing for support before something grabs the back of my shirt. Fight back or hold onto the railing? Hold on. Find your life? I don't let go of the railing as I look behind me. Now, more clearly seeing the face of the gray rabbit costume with bright eyes and a gaping black grin. What are you? I can't even hear my own voice. The ringing drowns it out completely as whoever it is successfully drags me from the railing and back up the stairs as I try to grab at anything I can. Reduced to a rag doll, it gets harder and harder for me to try and escape as I am dragged back into L chips. I hopelessly try to grab at the floor, but to no avail. The ringing is overpowered by the sound of my own heart protruding in my head at this point. I'm gonna save my game because I'm scared. I'm running out of time. I try kicking my attacker, but they seem unfazed, using one arm to drag me back. The other hand wields a large kitchen knife. They're going to kill me. They're going to drag me into the kitchen and kill me. Where's Vanessa? Does she know what's happening? Wouldn't she be able to find us? Would I be dead and buried before anyone even knew I was gone? I'm just barely able to cling onto the corner of the counter, trying to buy whatever time I can. Call for help. I try calling for someone, anyone to help me, unsure if I can even be heard as my grip on the counter starts to slip. Call for staff bot. My attacker has both hands on the back of my shirt and is pulling hard. One of my hands slips from the counter. I can't hang on much longer. I'm going to die. Call for Moon. Moon! Moon, help me! Please! Please help me! My hand slips from the counter and I'm dragged back. I'm practically clawing at the floor, but the costume stranger yanks me back before pushing open the door of the kitchen and throwing me in. There's no light in here, and I'm almost completely drowned in darkness as I land on the cold tile floor, save for the small beam of light coming from the door beyond. Looking behind me, I see a bit of light slipping in as the attacker's silhouette starts to merge with the darkness. The red eye's the only thing I see, and probably the last thing I'll see. That scared me. The beam of light from behind the door floods back into the room, and the gray rabbit is nowhere to be seen. The vision finally starts to clear up as I start towards whatever landed nearby. A different pair of red eyes looks back at me and lunges in my direction. I scurry backward, panicked until two familiar robotic arms grabbed me pulling me back out of the kitchen and into the atrium. I can finally see clearly, and the ringing noise is completely replaced by my racing heartbeat. I stare into nothing even as I'm carried into the air. Flying back from the atrium of the daycare, Moon's grip on me is so strong that he's on the verge of crushing my spine. He finally starts to slow down as we pass over the daycare wall, the once eerie silence hanging above us. He makes a smooth landing on the floor, the cable on his back unhooking and retracting back to the ceiling as I'm placed on the ground. He doesn't let go though. It almost feels like his arms are shaking, or maybe that's me. I can't see his face. He's slouched in a way where my head's almost resting on his shoulder and he's staring at the floor. His arm finally loosens as if he just let out a relieved sigh before letting go of me. I myself can't find words for what just happened. Whenever I open my mouth to speak, my mind goes completely blank. Instead, I drop to the floor. My fight or flight is still kicked in, and my hands are shaking uncontrollably. Moon's expression darkens slightly. Does he want to say something? His faceplate turns slightly, and he walks over to something on the floor a few yards away. He silently picks it up and returns it to me. My flashlight. I'm pretty sure I can hear his fans revving up, and he looks like he's deep in thought. He sits down in front of me, resting his faceplate on the palm of his hand.
Did she hurt you at all?
I fidget with the flashlight a bit. Battery's dead. No, thank God. Almost. No, I'm okay.
Good. I'm sorry for not being there sooner.
You should have let me stay here. I mean, I'm the one who said I wanted to go. Why would I blame that on him? That's fine.
You could have died.
Well, I didn't. Says the person who almost dies and everything. You still showed up quickly enough that it didn't happen, so...
Barely.
Why do you care so much anyway? I basically just got here and, well, you barely know me.
This is my job. I don't just look after the kids. Everyone that steps into the building is my responsibility.
I can fix him. I can fix him. You guys, I can do it. I can fix him. I can fix him. I can fix him. It's fine. I can do it.
And that includes you.
Moon suddenly gets back up and walks over to the massive doors by the desk. Where are you going?
Locking this place up. Whoever attacked you is still in the building. I can't leave you alone here to go deal with it. And bringing you with me is too risky.
I watch as Moon moves various objects in front of the door. From desk chairs to smaller play structures, basically anything decently heavy enough to barricade the door. Can't you just lock it?
Already did. But I'm not taking any chances.
Eventually, I'm able to stand up again and go over to the charging dock by the desk to recharge my flashlight.
I'm guessing you'd rather get out of here sooner than later, right?
Not in any rush to leave by myself, really. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't want to go out there if I'm about to get stabbed. I live alone, so...
Oh. Still, you can't stay here forever.
Unless...
Well, if you want to keep going with the generators, just say the word.
Right. I removed my flashlight from the charging dock, and sure enough, it works. I turn it on and point it back at the structures. Shall we? Moon nods, and we waste no time finding the next generator. Thankfully, it works just fine. Ooh, Sunny's gonna be mad at me. It's fine. With that over with, we go back to the desk and turn the lights back on. Speaking of, I wonder how Sunny's taking all of this. Moon did say they can both see and hear everything happening, even if they're not the one piloting the bot at the time. I catch a glimpse of the time as I'm turning the lights back on. 2 a.m. The daycare is slowly lit up, and as usual, the music comes back on. Even with the cheerful music, the mood seems heavy as ever. However, I'm giving no time to think as I'm spun around by the very worried son, practically checking for me for any injuries.
Oh my gosh! Are you sure you're okay? You poor thing! You must have been so scared! Oh, I'm sorry we weren't there sooner. If only we knew, we would have.
I am in love with these robots. I am in love with these robots. I think that's all I could say. I think that's all I can say is I am in love with these robots. Because look at his little skirt. Look at his little skirt. Look at his little skirt. That's it. That's the crux. That is the crux. I did my nails, so I'm being dramatic. That is the crux of my debate. Don't worry, I'm okay. Hey, it's already over. I'm okay. I'm fine. Son, don't worry about it. I'm okay. Son still looks guilty. He continues to check my arms and torso to see if I'm hurt, but at least he isn't pulling me around like a rag doll. Son is visibly distraught. His rays are practically drooping. Seems that didn't help much. Calm him with words, calm him with a hug, continue with your job. We can give him a little hug. It's a bit of a reach considering how tall he is compared to me, even when kneeling. But I managed to wrap my arms around Son's torso, hoping that'll calm him down. Yeah, give him a little hug. He's okay, buddy. Son doesn't say anything, but instead hugs me back, his internal fans getting much louder. He has one arm around my torso and one hand softly landing on the back of my head. It's a gentle hug. It feels safe. It feels warm like his son. He says nothing for a few minutes as I try to calm him down, but honestly, this hug is a huge comfort for me too. No wonder they are trusted with the kids. Even as an adult, I feel an odd sense of security around them. Facts. Oh no, yeah, they kind of give like mom-dad energy, but make it playful. Considering what just happened, it feels nice. Question?
Huh?
What was Moon alerted to, anyway?
Oh! A little boy snuck in to see Freddy again.
He seems irritated when he says that. Again?
Yeah, this isn't the first time the little rule breaker snuck in here.
Gregory. I want to somebody make a Glam Rock Freddy one, please. let me be with Glam Rock Freddy. Something tells me that security isn't as strict as you'd think. Though, if a kid managed to sneak in more than once, but if he just wants to see Freddy, then I don't really see a problem with it. It's not like the kid's hurting anyone, and I doubt Freddy's gonna let him get into trouble. He seems almost playfully bitter. What did this kid even do? Oh yeah. Maybe I should ask later. Though, I have to keep going with the generators. I don't get very far though, before I'm suddenly picked up by Son. What the? Where are we going? Son managed to carry me with one arm, not me sitting on his, like a infant, using the other one to move various other objects in front of the massive door.
Making sure no one's getting in here.
Can't you put me down though?
No! After all that, there's no way I can leave you on your own now.
Okay. Whatever you say, honey bun. Because this is really cute. He's so cute.
What if that person finds you here and we're not around?
Son, we're in the same room. If that person somehow got in, I'm pretty sure you'd notice. Looking up at Son's face, I noticed the long cable lower from the ceiling and hook onto Son's back.
You heard Moon. We're not taking any chances.
So y'all gonna kidnap me? We suddenly jerk upward, and I'm lifted into the air with Son, albeit much faster and more recklessly than Moon. Oh no. Hey, at least call Vanessa first. I don't think she even knows about that freak, since the staff bots didn't react at all.
Oh gosh, you're right. Okay, but we're making it quick.
Sure thing. Son suddenly changes direction in the air as we start heading back towards the desk. However, I think Son tried dropping from the height way too early, and we basically start free falling towards the ball pit. Oh, grab onto Sun, let go. Why would I let go? I'm not letting go. I am just barely able to grab onto Sun before gravity takes me. We both tangle in the cables though. Once again, we're stunned into silence. Just when I thought things were calming down, I feel my heart going a mile a minute from adrenaline, and Sun's internal fans are on full blast. I keep clinging onto Sun for dear life as we're slowly lowered into the ball pit. Clutching my chest with one hand over my racing heart, I'm able to get out of the tangled mess pretty easily. Sun is clearly having a harder time though, just thrashing in the tangled cable. Sun, chill out, let me help you out.
No thanks, I'm fine. I can get out myself.
I sighed, standing there in silence about a minute as Sun flails to get out himself. Sun finally stops, his faceplate drooping into feet. He's so cute. I love them both. I adore them. They're so cute. Do you want my help now?
Fine.
Alright then, hold still for a sec. Getting him out of the cables isn't hard. Once I'm done, I unhook the cable from his back and let it retreat back to the ceiling. I give Sun a minute before I decide to speak again. You wanna get out the ball pit now?
Yeah.
I can't tell if he's upset or embarrassed at what just happened as we exit the ball to make the walk back to the desk.
That's kind of why I don't use the cable, funnily enough. I usually just leave it to Moon.
Oh, really? Actually, I kinda get it now. Not to diss you or anything, but Moon seemed to know what he was doing, I think.
Yep, he has a lot more time to practice because of patrols, plus being active whenever the kids are sleeping.
So he doesn't go free falling and end up tangled in the cable?
Well, no, but I could do it just as well.
Not doubting that. You just need more time. You wanna try it again, then? I can keep a timer for you. I'm not doubting that. You just need some more time. You tried your best, so I can't really be mad. Sun smiles sheepishly, his rays spinning a bit.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
that's
happy you
cute.
think so.
How he managed to be so endearing is beyond me. He really is as sunny as his name. I can't hold back a smile as I pick up my phone from the desk. Glancing back at Sun, I pull up Vanessa's contact on my phone and hold it out for Sun to take. Want to call Vanessa for me? I can work on the next generator in the meantime.
Yes, please.
Sun wastes no time grabbing the phone and calling Vanessa, and I leave him to it as I go to sort out the mess of cables. Standing up straight, I stretch my arms over my head as I glance back at Sun on the phone. He has the device in front of him, probably on speaker mode, and he seems concerned. Not that I was really paying any attention to what he was doing just now.
There's no need for that. I'm sure you'll see what I mean if you look at the cameras. Maybe not right now, but whenever you have the time.
He's waving his other hand in front of him nervously, and his rays have shrunk a bit. What did Vanessa say to him? Sun glances over at me for a moment before Vanessa starts talking again, and he sets his attention back on the
If
phone.
something really did happen, the staff bots would have let me know.
But what if they don't?
That shouldn't be possible. I believe it if it was just one bot, but there's no way that many of them would just stop working out of nowhere.
Vanessa, you ain't about to be yelling at my
Well,
friend.
what if they didn't think the person was dangerous?
Son, that's not possible. They're supposed to go off if they see someone that shouldn't be here. Look, I don't want to completely rule out what you're saying, but what you're telling me just doesn't add up. I'll ask them about it later. I have to go check on the kid again.
Oh, are we here during the entire events? Because that is wild. Before Sun can respond, Vanessa hangs up. His arm drops in defeat as I make my way over to him, and he hands back the phone. She didn't believe you? You okay? You okay? Sun forces a smile and he waves his head in front of him nonchalantly.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just worried.
Yeah, no kidding.
She thought it was this weird bug we had a while back, that maybe it was making me see things that weren't there.
A bug?
It's a long story. But she thought maybe I was hallucinating a rabbit we used to have here, when I told her the person was dressed like a rabbit.
What?
Yep, I tried telling her that it was real, since you were there, and...
There used to be a rabbit here?
yeah. I don't know much about him other than his name was Bonnie. He was one of the Glamrocks.
Huh.
Yeah, the others don't really like to talk about it, so...
I guess that's something else we can ask Vanessa about later.
maybe?
Remembering what I'm supposed to be doing, I put my phone back in my and go to my computer to shut the lights off for the third time. Halfway there. Glancing at the digital clock in the corner of the screen, I keep a mental note of the time. Here I am. I sigh, not wasting any more time in turning the lights off, watching as the room dims around me, and my only source of light are the screens and the little charging station on the wall. Yawning, I step back from the computer. I know I have to hurry up and get this done, but now that the adrenaline is starting to wear off, I don't know if I can. I sigh, glance back at Moon, who's giving me a knowing look.
Feeling tired again.
Yeah. Probably a mix of adrenaline and sugar starting to wear off, I think. Maybe I was hallucinating the rabbit after all. I smile slightly at my joke. Moon, however, seems less than amused, giving me a deadpan stare. I clear my throat, reading the room and taking my flashlight back out. I take my flashlight back out, making my way out though. I take my flashlight back out, making my way a few steps past the desk. However, when I look back at Moon, I notice the cable lowering behind him. He points a finger at me and starts hovering off the ground.
Stay there. I'll be right back.
With that, he leaves, the cable allowing him to maneuver over the barriers of the daycare and disappear. Shrugging and lowering my flashlight, I stay put. Not like I was going anywhere anyway. I eventually decide to sit on the floor with my legs crossed and my chin resting on my palm. Since I have nothing better to do, I look around at my surroundings. Several towers of stacked foam cans, the sparkling floor, and the large cutouts of the Glamrock animatronics that decorate the place. For a place that's full of kids during the day, it's weirdly organized. Probably because of Sun. He did say that he'd never left this place, and I can imagine keeping it looking nice is a big reason why. I can't help but feel kind of bad, though. Sun and Moon's entire lives are in this daycare. I know they have each other, but I can't imagine spending all my time in such a small area. My train of thought is cut off when a pair of red eyes peer at me just beyond the barrier. I sigh, pushing myself back up. There you are, Moon. Are we gonna... Oh no. A loud ringing hits my ear, and I jump, dropping my flashlight. What? Covering one of my ears with one hand, I try to pick it back up, and a familiar red haze overlays my vision. With it now back in my hands, I point it in the direction of my eyes. However, they disappear as quickly as they came, and the noise in my ear fades into nothing but the subtle ambiance of the daycare. My arms drop to my sides. I hear the familiar gears and robotics. When I look up, Moon is already re-entering the daycare. I'm not even sure if what I saw was real, or my mind was playing tricks on me due to stress. Either way, I try to keep breathing to calm down my rapidly beating heart as Moon approaches me, the cable unhooking from his back and retreating back up.
I wanted to do a quick check around the daycare, just to keep an eye on things. Also, I brought you this.
He gives me an open can of Fizzy Faz, and although reluctantly, I take it. So, nothing out of the ordinary?
So far, no.
I just saw a crazy robot who wants to eat me. That's good. He stares at me for a moment, as I take a long sip of the soda. However, it tastes even sweeter than normal.
Did something happen while I was away? Your heart's racing.
How do you know that? I'm telling the truth, but how do you know that? Well, Moon's expression softens as he waits for me to answer. I was over here waiting for you to come back, and over there, I point to where I saw them, just past the barrier. I saw these red eyes. I thought it was you at first, but then I started hearing this loud noise. Moon's eyes widened slightly. It was the same thing I heard when that rabbit lady attacked me, so... Moon looks to where I was pointing and takes a few steps toward it.
Did it look like she was trying to get in?
I don't know. She was just there. And right before you showed up, she just, well, vanished. I can hear Moon's internal fans getting louder.
Hopefully, that means she can't get in here.
Yeah, that would be
The
nice.
fact that she knows you're here isn't good, though.
You don't say. I take another long drink of the soda, using my other hand to point my flashlight towards the structures. Shall we now? Moon tilts his head at me.
Shouldn't you give it a minute?
Why?
I don't think trying to work with this level of stress is a good thing.
I'll be fine. I managed to pass 12 hours on like 10 minutes of sleep. I'll live.
I can't say I'm surprised. Don't tell anyone I said this, but the people in charge of this place aren't known to splurge.
Moon gives me a bewildered look and sighing in annoyance. He said they're cheap. He said, you hear those birds outside? Cheap, 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 cheap. Look, just let me deal with this one generator and after that, sure, maybe I'll take it easy for a bit. Moon raises an eyebrow, clearly not entirely believing me. Why would I don't want to lie to him. Yeah, I'll promise. I begrudgingly give in, for now. Moon sighs before nodding his head at the structures, motioning for me to follow him as he leads me to the next generator. I set the can on the ground by the structure before I follow Moon in. He plops down next to the generator, looking over at me.
Go on.
Don't say it like that. I nod, putting my flashlight down so I can test the generator. The machine's LED turns as the mechanisms come roaring to life. Good, no problems. I do notice that my hand shaking the switch is shaking a lot, though. More than normal.
Something wrong.
What?
You're just staring at it.
Oh. I switch the generator back off and pick up my flashlight before making my way back out of the structure. After picking up the can of soda I left on the ground, I wait a moment for Moon to follow, lightly tapping my foot on the ground. Moon stands back up, albeit still slouching, and gives me a concerned look.
Are you sure you're alright?
Yeah? Why? Moon points at my hand holding the flashlight. I didn't realize it, but I'm gripping the thing way tighter than I thought. I loosen my hold on it as I start walking back to the desk.
See why I told you to take a break now?
They're yelling at me. I roll my eyes. Yeah. Anyway, Moon stays silent, leaning back against the desk as I put the soda and turn on the lights. I mark my progress and turn my flashlight off, watching as Sun sits on the desk, lightly kicking his legs back and forth.
So, break time.
I sigh. I can't, I have to finish this.
Hey, you said you'd take a break after that one.
Sorry, but I can't keep dragging this out.
Come on, please.
Okay. I would fold so easily. I make my way to the cable still on the floor, being extra careful as I go to sit down since my hands are still shaking. A lot. Jesus. Okay. Oh, the extra ones. Okay.
No!
What the? The Sun suddenly grabs my wrist and practically drags me away from the wall.
You're shaking. It's not safe to do that now.
Technically, He's not wrong. Hell, I'm practically vibrating. You sure that was soda and not an energy drink that Moon gave me? I notice Sun's rays are shrinking a bit and he's avoiding eye contact. Sun? Sun, what did you do?
Okay, maybe I put some sugar in the drink. I thought it would help.
What does that mean? He says it so fast that the words are starting to blend together, but I can still understand him. Seriously?
Sorry.
Sun lets go of my wrist, staring at the ground like a kicked puppy. Uh-huh. I try to go back to the cables, only for Sun to drag me over the desk again. Sun, really?
I know I messed up, but messing with cables and machines with shaky hands isn't safe.
They wouldn't be shaking if you hadn't put drops in it. I'll be fine. It's not a big deal. I'll be fine.
No, you might get electrocuted.
It's not that dangerous. The Sun doesn't say anything for a moment before suddenly picking me up. What?
1 second.
I noticed the cable lowering. No, not again. I'm glad me and in-game Buggy Girl are on the same page because we were like, no. Sun, no.
I'll be careful this.
The cable lifts us off the ground, much more slowly this time. Okay, he isn't messing around this time. Since he's not rushing, the ride isn't nearly as reckless. We're only in the air for a few moments before Sun steps into a small balcony that leads into his room. Okay, why are we here?
Just a precaution, that's all.
Sure. Taking a good look at the room behind us, it feels oddly lonely compared to the daycare. Oh no! There's a small staircase leading into the space, which only faintly illuminated by the bright fluorescence behind us. There are some fairy lights strung on the wall, but several of the bulbs are broken or dim. The floor is wooden and it looks like it hasn't been swept in ages, but various random objects strewn around the floor, plushies, stools, phone shapes, and other things. In the corner next to a small chair is a broken staff bot, its body mangled and its head ripped off. I hear Sun giving a nervous chuckle, clearly noticing me staring at his, well, less than colorful living space.
Welcome to my room.
It's messy. It's so dreary. It's a little messy. Kinda messy, don't you think?
Yeah. Neither the kids nor the staff come in here, so we never really thought about it. Well,
Sun goes and plops down onto a single beanbag chair in the corner of the room.
whatever you want to do up here, feel free.
Okay. I look around a bit, seeing if anything. I have a habit, and I would have started cleaning and being like, all right, we're organizing, we're decorating. You cannot live in a space that does not bring you comfort. You need to rest somewhere that will give you rest. It's very important to me. Anywho, I look around. Sleepy bug. I look around a bit, seeing if anything in particular catches my eye. One corner is covered with various drawings, most likely from the kids Sun and Moon look after on a daily basis. There's a few messy rag dolls and other little things made to look like them, placed neatly on a small table. In another corner, what appears to be a hole in the wall leads to another room. My eyes land on Sun again. They didn't have to make him look so handsome, right? I don't know what to do with that information. Why does he look so handsome? The damaged staff bot rests on his lap as he tries to reattach its head. He doesn't even seem to notice me watching him at all. Seeing how carefully he's being with it makes me wonder how the bot got up here in the first place. But maybe I should leave the question for later. Ask about the drawings, investigate the small room. Let's investigate. The hole in the wall is just big enough for me to crawl through. Dust greets me on the other side. Lots of dust. Dreading the oncoming sneezing fit, I took a quick look around the small room. Some glam rock drawings occupy the wall, box covering the floor, and clothes racks join the drawings. There's also a random wooden box. Is this the spirit storage room or something? What catches my attention the most, though, is the sole arcade machine in the far left corner. It's really dusty and looks like it hasn't been touched in decades. Above the screen reads the title of the game, Balloon World. Oh no, it's Balloon Boy. Despite the game clearly being abandoned for a while, the screen still flashes between a leaderboard and a screen reading insert coin on a pixel font. I don't have my wallet on me right now, otherwise I'd give the game a try. Maybe I can return before I leave if I have time. For now, there is not much else to see here. However, as I make my way back through the hole in the wall, I notice the lights in Sun and Moon's room are out. Actually, scratch that. They're just gone.
The lights burned out.
I jump slightly, turning to see Moon right next to me, holding the coiled up lights as he goes to sit on the beanbag chair again. Oh.
I can't say I'm surprised. Don't tell anyone I said this, but the people in charge of this place aren't known to splurge.
Ooh. Nah, I'm not arguing with you.
I will give them some credit, though. If it weren't for them being so stingy, I might not even be here right now.
What?
Remember that bug we've been mentioning?
I nod. Moon leans back into the chair a bit, facing the ceiling.
If you want, I can tell you some things.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. It would definitely explain some things. Like how Moon got his red eyes and why the generators are in the play structures. I nod before dragging the small cushion a bit closer to where Moon is and sit down.
Where do I start?
Well... Is that why they closed the daycare? What? How did you deal with it? Yeah, how did you deal with the daycare being closed? How exactly did you two deal with that bug?
I'd say Sun was the one left to deal with it. The lights in here we kept on at all times, meaning Sunny was always active.
Oh no.
As for me, I wasn't in full control of myself.
So the bug mainly affected you?
Technically. However, I would be lying if I said Sun wasn't affected at all. While the staff was using the generators to deal with me, Sun was left on his own for a while.
Oh no.
I won't go into detail, but I can't imagine what it felt like for him. Sun would go weeks without seeing anyone, while still having me to deal with.
He sighs, arms spreading out onto the floor as he stares at the ceiling.
I should have fought against the bug harder than I did.
Well, that certainly clears some things up. But it still doesn't answer everything. I still have no idea what that bug did to Moon, but from what I can tell, it sounds pretty bad. That, and how the bug came about in the first place, is still a mystery to me. Maybe now isn't the time to ask. You weren't in control? That's concerning. You weren't in control? Oh. I got a Moony point. I didn't even know. Well, you weren't in control of yourself, right?
No, I wasn't, but
Then stop being hard on yourself. I'd say you're more than making up for it now, and I think Sun agrees with me.
yeah, he does.
Exactly. Ain't no reason they should have a robot man looking this fine. There's no reason. There is no reason they should have a robot man looking this fine. A small smile creeps onto Moon's face as he sits up.
If only the rest of the staff were just as nice. How are you feeling now?
What?
Is all the extra sugar starting to wear off?
I completely forgot about that, even though that's why we were up here in the first place. I've stopped shaking, which is a good sign. Yeah, I think so.
Alright then.
Moon gets up and walks to the balcony as the cable lowers to his level.
Ready to continue?
Yeah, one sec. Checking my phone for the time and any new notifications, I push myself up off the floor, one hand on the curtain covering the wall for support. However, I feel something stick to my palm when I pull my hand away. Ew. Peeling it off with my other hand, I realize it's a piece of paper that's likely been taped to the wall. What catches my eye, though, is one word written in bold black letters. Missing. I don't get a good look at the small poster before Moon's voice snaps me out of it. Yeah. I quickly cover the poster up with a curtain before speed walking to Moon. The lights from the daycare shining onto the balcony cause Moon to transform back into Sun, who waves at me. I picked up the pace a bit, going to stand next to him. Wasting no time, Sun picks me up and brings me back down to the desk. My mind wanders back to the poster. The only other detail I got from that was that the victim is 7 years old. Just a kid.
So, what do you think
Huh?
of what Moon told you about the bug?
Oh. It must have been hard for you both. Yeah. I think it must have been really hard for you two. Since Moon wasn't in control of himself and you were basically isolated and for what? Weeks. Sun sighs as he walks to the desk, unhooking the cable from his back.
I don't really like thinking about it, but yeah. It does make me appreciate how things are now, though. It also makes me appreciate having Mooney around, too.
I'm not crying, you are.
Not having him around for that long was not fun.
Oh. I shrug. Hey, I'd say that you two at least learned something from it. Not that it completely cancels it out, you know. Sun nods, smiling brightly as usual. I sigh, glancing at the remaining cables. I take my phone out of my pocket and check the time quickly. It's 5 a.m. Well, I'm officially pulling an all-nighter. Nothing I'm unfamiliar with. Oh, the song's... I stay seated on the floor for a minute, stretching my arms above my head as I lay down on the cold hard tile. Sleeping in that chair definitely didn't do my back any favors. I close my eyes for a moment to block out the fluorescent lights pouring into my eyes. I stay like that for a minute until something's blocking out the light. Opening them, I see Sun standing over me, hands on his knees.
Are you okay?
I toss an arm over my eyes. Yeah, all good.
Need a hand?
I hear his footsteps as he moves around, a good enough sign to peek out from under my arm as any. Sun's giving me an outstretched hand. Yeah, I'll take his hand. Breaking out a laugh, I set my arm beside me and use my other to grab his. He smiles brightly as he pulls me up, patting his other hand on my shoulder for balance. Thanks.
No problem.
Sun gives me a pat on the shoulder before starting to walk back to the desk. I'm about to ask him, but I stop when I notice something. A few handprints on his back along with the bits of what I'm assuming is paint and marker ink. Sun?
Yes?
Is that paint on your back?
Oh! That's nothing. You know how kids are.
Sun laughs bashfully, waving his hand. Well, yeah, I figured. Does the maintenance staff help you with that at least? All he does is fidget with his hand, eyes toward the computer. Well, that answers that. Witness. Eyebrows furrowed, I follow Sun back to the desk. The staff really can't be bothered, huh?
Huh?
I lean over the desk, resting both arms on it as I look up at him. I don't know. The way you've talked about the staff here, do they really care that little about you and Moon? Sun shrugs, trying to keep the mood up.
Well, we're not for everyone. Some don't mind us. Others do. But we try.
Uh-huh. So, you're sure it's fine? Sun nods and the bells of his wrist emitting a soft chime as he gives a double thumbs up. You'd think who's ever at parts and services would be more on top of things.
Well, I'm sure they're busy. There's no need to bother them.
Every part of Sun's body is giving off a different signal. His hands are waving everything off. His rays are shrinking back and his smile seems a bit more forced. Something wrong?
No,
I blink. Sun clearly knows I'm not convinced.
just they're busy enough as is. Wouldn't want them worrying about us.
Is this about the bug? Sun's staring at the floor, one hand fidgeting with the ribbon around his wrist. He nods. Well, you want to talk about it? If not, it's...
No. Mooney already let you in on it. It's only fair that I tell you some things too, right?
If you insist.
Well, while the daycare was closed, we weren't really seeing anyone. And of course, the staff didn't stick around long when they had to come in here. They mainly stopped by to install the generators and make sure they were working. To keep Moon away. And I heard some of them talking once. One of them asked if they really needed to keep both of us around after.
Oh. So that's why he doesn't like parts and services. He's still worried that they're going to get rid of Moon.
Everything's fine now. I know that. I still can't help but worry, though. I don't know if I can handle being completely alone here.
Oh, Sun! My heart. Moon did mention Sun being isolated for a while, but if the staff did all that to keep Moon at bay... Try lifting the Moon, ask what Moon did. Gonna save, that's what I'm gonna do. I feel like that is a Moon question, and that would be not nice to... That's his business. So we could just lift the Moon. Well, you really don't like the idea of being separated like that. Sun nods. But hey, imagine if instead Moon just had his own body.
What?
You know, you both get your own bodies and you don't do the thing where you have to switch when the lights go on and off, you know? I shrug. Sun seems deep in thought.
If that happened...
I can hear the gears turning, literally.
Oh my gosh, I can finally hug him!
That's so sweet. He just wants to hug Moon. Oh my god. I jumped slightly, not expecting Sun to shout like that. Well, someone has his priorities set straight. But yeah, there's food for thought.
We can't eat though!
Really?
Yes? Wait, why would we?
Just, I heard stories about one of the Glamrocks eating trash. I thought maybe...
What?
Nothing. To be fair, that would explain why their mouths don't open. Maybe I should try steering the conversation back on track. So, how do you feel about how things are now? I fidget with the scroll button on the computer mouse. Glancing at the time, we're already almost halfway through the hour. Didn't think my shift would include this much talking. At least that makes my job more interesting than sorting cables in silence.
I can definitely say I like how things are. It feels nice knowing everything is mostly back to normal.
That's good at least. Sun suddenly grabs my shoulders and forced me to face the computer.
Keep going then. I don't want to keep you from your responsibilities for too long.
Fair enough. I am in love with the both of them. This is terrible. I look back at the time and sigh as Sun sits on the desk again. Christ's sakes! I would have inhaled the whole bottle of melatonin pills if I would have known I'd be up this late. Sun seems to double take, pointing at me like he wants to say something before backing off. What?
Language!
I raise an eyebrow, cracking a slight smile at his antics. Sun, I'm an adult and there's no one around.
I know. know, just force of habit.
I snicker at that. Even when he's not working, he has a filter. Try to make Sun cuss. That's cute. Son, say a curse word. Right now. He looks at me like I just told him to kill a man.
What?
Say the fuck word.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can. There's no one around but me. I lightly elbow him in the torso. I won't tell.
No!
Say hell instead. What, you gonna say HE double hockey sticks?
No!
Say it! Sun lightly pushes me towards the computer.
How about we talk about this later? Good, good. Please let's drop this topic and eventually forget you asked me such a question and we never speak of it again. Good, good.
The amount of cuteness in this game is going to send me into a coma. It's too cute. I finally decide to drop the joke, prying one of my hands off his shoulder. Alright. You can chill out now. I didn't expect you to do it anyway.
What? Then why did you ask me to do that in the first place?
Cause it's cute. I shrug. I thought it'd be funny. Sun silently puts both hands on either side of my head before gently making me turn my face to the computer before letting go. I roll my eyes, once cracking a smile at his antics. Alright. See you in a bit. The usual. Lights out, moon's out. I like that. Sitting cross-legged on the desk.
Drop it.
So about that filter.
Yes, I can say fuck. What about it?
I blink, not expecting that. At least not expecting him to do it so soon. Nothing. I step away from the desk, feeling a headache coming on when I start walking towards the play structures. Thankfully, it feels like a normal, I only slept for 10 minutes headache and not the weird rabbit lady is about to kill me headache. Never did I think I'd be happy for my headache to be from a lack of sleep. As if this night couldn't get any weirder. Moon hops off the desk and catches up to me. Honestly, I think I deserve workers' comp for this. Cause I'm definitely not being paid enough to barely survive being murdered by a woman in a rabbit onesie.
Don't joke like that.
Shush, I'm coping. Moving on.
That aside, you'd be lucky if they even believed you.
Okay. Moon makes a gesture for me, asking me to follow him, and I tag along as he guides me towards the 4th generator.
Not that it's your fault. There doesn't know what you would call urgent. Again, don't tell anyone I said that. I'm not trying to get scrapped anytime soon.
Yeah, good plan. I can faintly see the red light of the next generator behind the frame of the center structure. Just one more after this and I'm home free. One more and I'll get to leave. I'll leave not knowing when or if I'll see these two again. We can kidnap them like Gregory kidnapped Glamrock Freddy. Might as well get any questions out of the way now. Hey, baby cakes. So, random question. What did the bug make you do? The staff put generators to deal with you, right? Moon says nothing for a bit. He doesn't even look at me as we make our way up the structure. He nods. Really hoping this doesn't upset him. What happened exactly? Like, what did you even do? It couldn't have been that bad, right? Silence. Moon stops. I also stop, remaining a few feet away. I wait for him to say something. Anything. Moon? Nothing. He keeps his back turned to me.
It's better if I don't say.
What? Moon, it couldn't have been that bad.
And if it was,
I can't find a response for that. But if it really is as bad as he says... No, there's no way. I mean, you did say you had no control when...
Drop it. I'd rather not think about it. Not now.
Okay. Can I at least ask why?
I don't like talking about it.
Yeah, well, I'm pushing it. Let it go. I keep quiet as Moon continues guiding me. My mind wanders back to the poster I saw in his room. Mama, Moon killed a child, and they probably hid it somewhere. Now he has to live with the guilt. Mama, there's a missing poster, and she's going to cry 'cause our little boy's gone away. Mama, when the wind blows. I'm hoping that I'm just overthinking this, and the poster being there is just an unfortunate coincidence. However, my thoughts are cut off when Moon suddenly turns and sits right next to the generator.
Your turn.
I nod, shuffling over and switching the switch, listening to whatever motors and mechanisms are inside. Power on as the LED flicks to green. Floor down, wanna go. I turn off the generator as Moon makes a head start back out, and I scramble to follow him. Moon stands up straight, letting out what sounds like a sigh as he stretches his arms above his head. For a moment, I'm reminded how tall he and Sun actually are, just as he goes right back to his usual slouch stance. He notices me looking at him and tilts his head slightly.
What?
That's why he's so tall. I like how tall you are. Christ, you're tall. Moon looks at me confused. Like if I just asked if the sky was orange.
That's it?
Well, yeah. Didn't really think about it until now, but God, you're built like a whole giraffe. Moon snickers at my comment. I would... Leaning back against the structure behind us.
Should I take that as a compliment?
Yes, we're flirting. Yes. Yes, you should. Moon crosses his arms, looking down at me while he waits for my response. Hmm? Oh. Oh no. Jesus Christ. Why is he looking at me like that? This is very awkward for me. Yeah. I give him an awkward thumbs up as if I didn't just forget how the English language works. Moon shakes his head, clearly entertained by my embarrassment.
Cute.
Jesus.
I don't know how to take my feelings. I don't know how to take my feelings towards him saying that. He giggles to himself as he... The gremlin laugh. He giggles to himself as he starts walking back to the desk. Christ. Am I flirting with a robot right now? Maybe it's about time I get some serious introspection, flirt with him. Or pretend that's entirely normal in hopes that it happens again. Oh God, Buggy. No, focus. I quickly snap myself out of whatever I was just expecting. Of course, I follow him back, stopping at the computer.
Last one.
I know. Last one. It feels kind of weird knowing it's almost over. Earlier it felt like I was making no progress, and now I'm just about to leave for the night. Glancing at the clock, it reads 6 a.m. With one hand on the mouse, I stare at the screen with the option to turn the lights back on. Maybe it's just paranoia over something bad happening when I step out the door, but part of me doesn't want to leave yet. Even though I already know I can't stay forever. I guess Moon caught me staring into space though, as he waves a hand in front of my face. I blink, snapping back to reality. Huh?
You looked like you were spacing out.
Oh, well, you'd be right about that. We stand in silence for a minute before Moon speaks again. Yeah?
Do you think we'll see each other again after this?
I don't know what I can say to that. I don't make those decisions, but considering how kind Sun and Moon have been to me, it would be nice to see them more often. I mean, I can always come visit, can't I? Actually, thinking about it makes me remember something else. Well, I don't make those choices here, but I know that the glam rocks all have their designated mechanics. I just barely noticed Moon's expression brighten ever so slightly. Maybe if I get more time here, I could ask about that.
If it helps, Sunny and I could put in a good word for you.
That would definitely help, thanks! I look back at the screen, feeling a bit more motivated. Ready? Moon nods and I turn the lights back on, wasting no time to get the last few cables that need sorting. Before I can even move, Sun picks me up and places me on my 2 feet himself. Looking up, I can see him smiling down at me, his hands on my shoulders. Hey, Sun.
Hello!
I am terribly in love with these robots. This is terrible. So, what do you think of my little designated mechanic idea? Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
It's a great idea! But until then, please stop by whenever you can, okay?
Okay. Sun's expression brightens, his rays retracting and expanding in what I think is safe to describe as joy. That's cute. They're just We both stand in silence for a moment and I glance back at the computer. All I have left to do is turn the lights off, test the last generator, and I'm home free. I think Sun notices my gaze as he lets go of my shoulders and lightly nudges me to the computer.
Go on. I'm sure you want to go home, right?
I shrug. It would be nice to go out and pass out for a few hours. What about you, though?
Well, I won't be leaving anytime soon. I still have plenty to do to prepare for tomorrow when we reopen.
That makes sense. I decide to quit stalling and turn off the lights for the last time. Sun standing behind me as I do so. As usual, the daycare is cloaked in a droning ambiance and I can clearly hear the attendants' mechanisms behind me as Sun transforms into Moon again. You ready? Moon nods, already walking ahead.
Small question.
Hmm?
Would you mind if we walked you out of here? Just in case that person is still around somewhere.
As I follow him, I get flashbacks to just a few hours ago. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thanks.
It's the least we could do.
I would very much appreciate that. The last generator is at ground level, so it doesn't take long for us to find it. I still have to tell Vanessa about the whole thing later, too.
That's true.
Whenever I come back here, I'll keep you and Sun updated. Scooting over to the generator, I flip the switch. To my absolute surprise, it works. After switching it off, Moon and I exit the structure in silence. So, this is it, huh? Moon nods as he walks back to the desk, and I follow. I look at the computer screen before glancing back at Moon. I'll be seeing you soon then?
Hopefully.
Hey! Even if I'm not going to be working here anytime soon, I can always just visit as a guest, you know?
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Right as I'm about to turn the lights on, Moon hugs me from behind, arms wrapped around my shoulders. I don't necessarily mind though. I place a free hand on one of his arms as I turn the lights on. The daycare is lit up again and I watch as Moon transforms into Sun. He doesn't say anything for a minute before backing out of the hug. So, ready to head out?
I guess. This would be my first time out of the daycare.
That's so exciting! Yep. I pick up my stuff, do one last check, and head for the door. Sun goes ahead, probably to move some of the makeshift barricade out of the way. His alarm stops him in his tracks. We exchange worried looks. Sun runs up to me, picks me up, while the cable lowers and hooks onto his back. Wasting no time, he brings me up to his and Moon's shared room, almost messing up the landing before placing me on the ground and hopefully out of harm's way.
Stay here. We'll be back.
I can't get out another word before Suns leaves. The nighttime sequence active in the rest of the Pizzaplex as I watch him transform back into Moon from a distance. Noticing the one door that leads out of the room, I block it with the beanbag chair and a few other things just in case. However, as I'm doing that, I remember the hole in the wall I splatted earlier. A hiding place. I force myself through the small gap. I drop onto the floor on the other side like a sack of potatoes. With a face full of dust, I push myself back up. I use all the boxes I can find to cover up the hole and stop any light from leaking through. All I can do is wait now, trying to calm myself down until Sun and Moon return. The occasional sound effects from the arcade machines in the corner catch my attention. Potential distraction? The game isn't too loud, but I'm still wary about it potentially giving me away. Until I remember the electrical tape I also brought with me. I decide to cover up the speakers with it and at least give the game a try, now that I actually have my wallet with me. After brushing the dust and dirt off my clothes, I insert a quarter into the machine before the game starts for what is most likely the first time in a decade or so. Oh. I am Moon and Sun, just looking terrifying. The game isn't bad. It very much reminds me of Flappy Bird, but like way more forgiving. The little sun and moon in the corner of the screen certainly helps lift the mood a bit. I'm able to make some progress as I keep surroundings in my mind, making sure I listen for anything suspicious. Nothing of the sort happens, so I continue the game. Maybe some more random burglars decided to try their luck or something. Wouldn't be the weirdest thing that happened in a long shot. I smile slightly at the mental image of the poorly masked burglar coming face to face with Moon and freaking out. However, my train of thought is cut off when I notice something out of order. A purple box towards the bottom of the screen. Wondering if it's some kind of glitched item, I let Balloon Ball fall towards the bottom of the screen to try and pick it up. However, what I'm met with is Balloon Boy phasing through the obstacle as the visuals are coated with a fiery orange color. The sun in the corner taking a weird, dark appearance. The screen freezes as the visual changes as the distorted music continues to play. Pressing the buttons to move the joystick does nothing. I broke it. Is this what I get for touching a weird glitchy box in a game that hasn't been touched since the Stone Ages? Probably. Groaning in annoyance, I step away from the machine, debating whether or not I should take a nap on the dusty, unclean floor until either Sun and Moon come back or morning comes and Vanessa lectures me again.
Wait, don't leave yet.
I jump a whole 2 feet in the air, placing a hand on my rapidly beating heart as I look back and forth from the machine, still stuck on the broken visual.
There's nothing to be scared of, I assure you.
Is that game talking to me?
Still shocked? I suppose that's fair.
Oh, is this where they put the glitch? What the heck are you?
Give me just a moment.
As if things couldn't get any weirder, a hand starts reaching out from the game, appearing glitchy and broken like the game itself. Panicked, I grab the nearest item, a Chica plushie, and chuck it towards the screen. The plushie phases through the hand and it dissipates anyway. Actually, now that I think about it, the hand looks a lot like Sun and Moon's, except it's a dark brown and red color.
What? Alright, that was just rude.
Answer the question! The voice sighs, and I see something pop out of the screen. Eclipse? Eclipse? Is he the Eclipse? A familiar-looking celestial robot coated in dark, warm colors and spouting 4 arms with bells and ribbons on the wrists.
See?
Its face looks similar to the messed sun visual. Even if I were to scratch and claw and search, there are no words for me to find for this. Although I am considering crawling back through the hole and pretending I never saw this.
Come on now, am I really that frightening?
The hell? How?
Heard Moon mention it earlier.
Am I talking to a sentient glitch right now? I thought nothing could top nearly being killed by a rabbit with a knife, but how I was wrong.
You may call me Eclipse.
That's what I thought. He's a clip. Oh, how creative. You're not gonna possess me or something, are you?
Not unless you ask. Besides, you're too far.
Okay, thanks for the advice. Have a nice life. I pick up my stuff, about to turn, and head out before it gets any weirder.
Wait. Allow me one more question. Please.
Hell no! I'm not buying whatever you're selling.
Please let me speak. If you really wish to opt out, you can leave this room and forget you ever saw me. All I ask for is a bit of help.
With what?
Well,
Eclipse starts to stick one of his forearms out of the screen. However, it only lasts a few seconds before dissipating, separating into glitch-like particles and fading away.
as you can see, I'm bound to this machine. Without a physical body to move around with, I'm essentially trapped in this room until the higher-ups inevitably decide to bulldoze it and replace it with a warehouse. All I ask for is help finding another body, so I can finally leave this cursed room.
We can put him in the robot.
As long as it can move around, I don't care what it is. However, I do have some preferences.
Such as...
Is it not obvious?
With all four arms, Eclipse gestures to himself.
If possible, I'd like to coexist with your new friend.
Sun and Moon?
Yes. They already managed to share a body with one another. I'd like to think there's room for one more. Would you help me with that?
No. Hell no. Hell no. Something about this feels really wrong. I've had enough weirdness and bad things happening for my lifetime. I don't need to get roped into whatever this guy's got going on. Hell no. I don't trust you, and honestly, I prefer to move on with my life without owing favors to a sentient video game glitches thing. Because, like, what if he's the original glitch? Like, that they had to get rid of, and they placed him in there as to keep him contained. I tossed my stuff through the hole of the wall before starting to crawl through myself.
Your choice. Your choice.
My choice or their choice? Because I think you're saying my choice. Once I'm back in the main room, I pick up my stuff just as Sun lands on the balcony.
We're back!
Hey, so what
Oh,
happened?
just a robber that didn't know any better. I think Moon made them seriously reconsider breaking in here.
Good. Sun holds his arms out waiting for
I
me.
think it's about time you got home, though. Next time, please get proper rest before coming into work.
Yeah, I will. Trust me, I learned.
Good.
I go to Sun and he picks me up. We ain't gonna say nothing. We ain't gonna say, hey, there was this whole being in y'all closet called Eclipse, and I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that it was there. We ain't gonna say nothing. Okay. I go to Sun and he picks me up before bringing me out of the daycare, albeit a bit slowly as not to cause another tangled situation. I try to forget about Eclipse, hoping I can go to bed and wake up forgetting he ever existed. All while Sun looks down at me, giving me his usual smile. Oh, I got to hit it in. Oh dear, that is certainly interesting. Yay! We got our first ending! That's exciting. Talk about a surprise ending. Oh my god. First of all, I loved every second of that. I loved every second of that. I think I am in love with Sun and Moon. And I have a crush on, I have a bit of a crush on Eclipse. But Regardless, that was such a good game. I loved every second of it. I like the fact that it was both like the like falling for one of like falling for them in a way. It was just me, maybe. I don't know. I'll admit it. I was falling head over heels for robot boys. I did have a Mooney preference, but y'all already know my type, and we're gonna leave it right there. Everybody, thank you. This was such a good game. I was smiling and having fun the entire time. I am really happy I played this. And of course, I'm gonna go back and get the other things because y'all know how we do it. I really enjoyed everything. I loved the art. I loved the voice acting. I loved the time and the effort that was obviously put into this game. The love that was put into this game. This is going into a favorite. This is going into a favorite. I really, really, really liked it. So we're gonna play the rest and get the other endings. And you know, as always, thank you so much for spending time with me. I love seeing your face. I love having you here. I love being oh so sleepy and oh so cozy. And remember that day by day, moment by moment, we are blossoming like a flower of lavender, calm, collected, and fragrant. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. I love this game. It's really good.